Requiem for a Dream is a psychological drama from Darren Aronofsky, based off the 1978 novel of the same name. It tells the stories of 4 different addicts. Their stories are all interwoven, but they all suffer from different circumstances. Harry is a heroin addict, along with his friend Tyrone. They sling dope to try and make enough cash to invest and grow a clientele, hoping to get out of poverty. But since they're addicts themselves, they keep blowing their opportunities. Harry is dating Marion, who comes from a rich family, but she wants independence. She wants to open a clothing store, and she wants to make an idealized life with Harry. Finally, we have Sarah, Harry's mother. She's a widow living alone in an apartment. Apart from her small comforts of food and television, she doesn't have much going on. She has a few friends, but she's mostly alone, with her only son occasionally visiting when he wants to steal her TV for some drug money. Sounds like a bummer, right? We're just scratching the surface here. Requiem for a Dream takes place over the span of 6 months, with a 3-act structure: summer, fall, and winter. The first act gives us insight into our characters, their aspirations, along with their vices. We come to understand their relationships, their dreams, their cycles of substance abuse. The segments involving Harry, Marion, and Tyrone follow a pretty linear and similar story thread, since they all have a close-knit connection to Harry. But Harry isn't extremely close to his mother, and her struggles are a completely different monster. The catalyst for her downfall is an opportunity to appear on TV. She's ecstatic. She's actually going to be in the spotlight. She's going to be a star. She's finally going to be somebody. If only she could lose some weight. If she can fit into her red dress, she'll look beautiful, and everyone will love her. So she visits a doctor and gets a prescription for some diet pills. They suppress her hunger. They also make her jittery, but the results speak for themselves. Time passes, the seasons change, and everything takes a turn for the worse. A gang war breaks out, and suddenly Harry and Tyrone have no product to sell. They start hemorrhaging money and heroin, rapidly becoming desperate to get a fix, and get back on track to making money again. Circumstances just keep getting worse, and Marion starts lashing out at Henry. They resort to prostitution to get by, and this drives a bigger wedge between them. Tyrone keeps fishing for hookups, but something always seems to go wrong. Sarah eventually becomes a full-blown meth addict. She's suffering from crippling side effects, withdrawals, hallucinations, and she starts abusing her medication more and more recklessly. Then finally, come winter, their lives completely derail, and the end result is catastrophic. So, if you've never seen Requiem for a Dream, by the sounds of it, this all sounds very preachy, like pure propaganda that drugs are bad and it'll ruin your life. It's the worst case scenario. It's an exaggeration, a 2000s PSA about the dangers of addiction. But if you look beneath the surface, there's a lot to take away from this. It's bleak, it's devastating, but it's also profoundly intimate. The movie opens this window into each of our characters' minds, showing us what drives them, their fantasies, and how these fixes will make everything okay. And it's so emotional and gut-wrenching and nauseating that it's hard to stomach. This isn't just a drama. I'd argue it's a horror movie. It's a nightmare. The movie is an excellent showcase of show, don't tell. The visual storytelling here makes this a unique and transformative experience. It's basically experimental, and it puts you right in the same mind space as our characters, often without saying a word. We know exactly what they're feeling and what they're experiencing. The movie blends the visuals with extremely effective audio, with aggressive or disturbing sound effects that emphasizes the terror of their experience. It slows down and speeds up footage. It makes you feel disoriented, and it shows how each person is affected at a given moment. Everything is tied together with this original mesmerizing score by Clint Mansell, which adds so much atmosphere and raw intensity to what is happening on screen. This is a movie with so much personality, and it's so hypnotic and aggressive and devastating that it's impossible not to admire the craftsmanship here. It's an excruciating experience that's equally rewarding because it's so bold and creative. This is top-tier filmmaking, all across the board. And anyone that loves the art of cinema will find a ton to appreciate here. Requiem for a Dream is easily in my top 10 favorite movies of all time. It's a total drug trip, literally. And every single time I watch it, I'm just completely floored by it. It's like it scoops something out of you. But you aren't just left with a pit in your stomach. You're left with this feeling that you just experienced something special, something impactful, something beautiful, and horrifically ugly and tragic. You'll never forget it. You might never want to watch it again because it's so overwhelming, but I highly recommend revisiting if it's been a while. There's really nothing quite like this.